Are you wondering how you can find a job in nonprofit marketing? Well, if you are, you have come to the right place. Whether you are just starting out with your first job right out of college or high school, or looking to switch roles from one nonprofit to another, or maybe, just maybe, you're looking to go from a for-profit space into a mission-focused space, you have come to the right place. In this video, I'll be walking through the 8 recommendations I have for you on where you can go to find nonprofit jobs. And stick around to the end where I'll be going through my special tips on how you can find a remote job in the nonprofit space. Hi, I'm Kelly, the Nonprofit Marketing Nerd, and I help nonprofit marketing nerds or aspiring nerds just like you level up their marketing and storytelling online. Now, again, in this video, I'm going to be going through 8 tips for you on how you can find a job. If you are here to find a job in the nonprofit space in marketing, you've come to the right place. I'm so excited to share my tips with you. Now, for tip number 1, and it's a platform everyone knows, I recommend going ahead and looking at Indeed as a possible source to finding a nonprofit job in marketing. Now, this is a great option if you're looking for in-person, hybrid, or remote roles. And I will tell you, even if it is listed as a hybrid job with specific recommendations, I would recommend you go ahead and apply, even if you're looking for something remote or maybe less hybrid and more home-based than what it's listed at. Now, the cool thing about Indeed is that you can really use keywords to filter out a lot of different options, and it has a lot of customizations on how and where you search. So if you're looking for a job at an animal shelter, you can go ahead and put that in specifically. If you're looking for a nonprofit marketing position and are open to relocating, then you can look entirely over the US. Or if you're looking in a specific city, especially if it's a major city, go ahead and click that location first and then just go ahead and type in the search bar, nonprofit marketing. The second platform I recommend you use if you're in the market for finding a job in nonprofit marketing is LinkedIn. And I could go through all the strategies. Again, I'm a social media nerd first. I could go through all the strategies on how you should be best using LinkedIn. And the key thing I can say is if you're using LinkedIn as a tool, or if you're in the job market at all, the first thing you need to do before going and searching for jobs is to make sure your profile reflects the job you want to get. So go ahead and spend some time bulking up your profile and making sure some of those descriptions of your previous work, especially if you're not currently in the marketing field, do showcase some of the skills you have that would be transferable in the space of nonprofit marketing. Now, in addition to updating your profile, LinkedIn has a great job board where a lot of nonprofits, especially associations and national nonprofits, are posting their jobs. So if you're looking to work for a bigger organization or an international or national organization, LinkedIn is a great place to start. Now, if you are looking for a local in-person job and you're not from a major city, LinkedIn is still a great place. But I will tell you, it's not only about using their job board and seeing what jobs are posted. LinkedIn is a great place to start networking. And I'll get more to that later. But LinkedIn is an ideal place to go ahead and start showing up and connecting with people that might be your future colleagues. And you've heard me say it before, and I'll go ahead and say it again. Social media really is the coffee shop of the 21st century. So go ahead and start building your community, saying hello to people that are already in the space you want to be in. Before I get to the rest of my tips and that special remote tip at the end on how you can find a remote job in nonprofit marketing, I want to make sure if you are really entering the workforce or looking for new positions, the worst thing you can do is create your idea of this dream job and only apply to 1 or 2 organizations. Now that's great if you're like, well, I might not want to move, but maybe, and I'm kind of like putting some feelers out there. But if you really are committed to getting a job in the nonprofit space in marketing, you need to cast a wide net. So I recommend however many applications you're putting in and however much you're customizing, although there's some strategies on how you can make sure to get in front of people, go ahead and add a 0 to the number of applications, or at least positions you're looking at each day. Again, that doesn't mean you should stop customizing and stop catering. It means you need to be more aggressive and cast a wide net, especially if you're at a specialist, manager, or coordinator level role, and especially if you're looking for a remote position, because the number of applicants versus the number that get selected, it's a big difference. My third tip, and one of the most overlooked places to go to look for nonprofit positions, are the job boards or the mailing list for consortium of community foundations. And in each state, and sometimes regions depend on what states you're in each state, they will have one. In Illinois, it's called Forefront. In Indiana, it's the Indiana Philanthropy Alliance. And in lots of states, they'll have entities like this. And not only are these consortium of community foundations focused on helping and supporting community foundations, they focus on providing technical support to the entities the community foundations fund to make them successful, and at the end, good stewards of donor dollars that are coming from those community foundations. So if you look on those job boards, those are great places, and nonprofits are posting there because posting there is free, and they know it's going to get in front of their target audience, especially people that are already in the workforce. But if you're in the for-profit space, or if it's your first job, go ahead and slide in, sign up, go to your Consortium of Community Foundation page, sign up for their email list, and you're going to be shocked. Again, it's a secret tip, shocked on how many positions are showing up and nonprofits are posting there. The fourth tip of where to go to find a nonprofit position is Idealist. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is not shocking. If you Google where to find a nonprofit job, this is it's going to be like Indeed and then Idealist. And Idealist is specific for jobs in the social good and social impact sectors. And sadly, it looks to me, externally with no data, but it looks to me like the number of nonprofits that are posting jobs in Idealist has diminished over the years, and it's not necessarily a go-to resource. And I think it seems like a lot of that is because nonprofits are getting good response from job ads through local job boards that have built up, Facebook, and Indeed. My fifth tip on where to find a nonprofit job is through the mailing list that you receive in response to subscribing to the email list for nonprofit associations. And there are a ton of nonprofit associations out there. Some are state specific, some are geographical specific, and some are in your specific mission space. At the state level, also at the national level, and then in the mission space. And I know that's abstract, but if you're like, no, I really want a job fighting hunger, I'm sure you start looking at national. The sixth tip is to look on the website for the National Council on Nonprofits or for Nonprofits. Now, I will tell you, this is a tip that's getting floated around a gazillion times. To be honest, I have never used it. I have never looked at it. I don't know much about it. And I used to work in nonprofit recruiting. So that's a recommendation I'm throwing out. And I would love to hear if you do end up checking it out or using that as a key way to find a job. How did it work for you? How did you see the platform? Because I personally don't know, but it's something that gets recommended a lot. Again, I have 8 tips that are all about how to find a job in the nonprofit marketing space. But before I do that, I want to remind you that I am hopeful that with this video, you'll be able to find a job in the nonprofit marketing space. And especially if you're a newbie, I would love to help you. And remember, I provide free and low-cost resources, tips, tools, and trainings for nonprofit marketers just like you. So make sure you subscribe below so that you can continue to get vital resources on how can you level up your nonprofit or future nonprofit employers' marketing and storytelling online. Tip number 7, and the one I see people not do so much, and I don't know why, because it's the easiest, best, and probably lowest effort for highest result strategy to find a job in the nonprofit marketing space, or really any job, is to network your off. Now, this doesn't mean just showing up at chamber events, going to the Philanthropy Alliance groups, but this means maybe joining Facebook groups that are in the nonprofit marketing space. Instead of just sitting on LinkedIn passively, if you are in the job search, go ahead and start engaging with people online, sliding into people's DMs. If you're really committed to finding a nonprofit marketing job, go ahead and set up appointments to learn more from people that work in the nonprofit marketing space, and then tell them, well, this is what I'm looking for, and see if they have any ideas and can slide you in to being the first round of interviews for your dream job. Again, this is something people do not do. And if you're looking for an in-person job, then you should be marketing in person and online. If you're looking for a remote role, you really need to level up sliding into people's DMs and authentically connecting with humans. Go ahead and attend a conference, even though you haven't gotten that job yet. Go ahead and join a Facebook group. Go ahead, and most important, start actually talking to people, whether that be virtually or online. Instead of just sitting there passively looking and waiting for something to come to you, go ahead and flip the switch and ask. The worst that can happen is someone says no. And honestly, to a certain extent, although it is a negotiation, entering the job search is kind of a different version of sales. You're selling yourself, but you know your worth. And one of the common strategies in sales is to find your no's. So you need to be doing that instead of sitting back and passively sending out 2 or 3 applications a day. You need to be going out and finding your no's. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Awesome. If you've stuck around to the end for tip number 8, then you are probably looking specifically for a remote job in the nonprofit marketing space. And I am so excited to tell you that there's so many options and opportunities out there. And it's more than just when you search remote in Indeed. And the key places I would recommend are Facebook groups that are specific to nonprofit marketing jobs or nonprofit jobs that are remote. And I'm going to share with you in the description below 2 Facebook groups I personally network in a lot that are all about remote jobs in the nonprofit space. So again, go ahead and join those Facebook groups, apply for every job you see that kind of is exciting to you. And instead of just applying, go ahead and message the person and ask them some follow-up questions to see if you can go ahead and set up a call. Now, my biggest tip for you, if you're in the job search space, is to really, before you go ahead and click apply, know your value, know your worth, know what salary range you're looking for, know what your non-negotiables are in terms of lifestyle, benefits, vibe of the job. Trust your gut during interviews, but best of luck. Happy job search, and I look forward to seeing you next week as I share more tips and tricks on how to level up your nonprofit's marketing and storytelling online. Take care.